Hello and welcome. My name is Juliana, and today we're going to talk about Gene Key or Gate 22, which is transiting between March 8th and March 13th, 2023. Now, I'm not going to pretend to fully understand this gate quite yet. This isn't active in my own chart. Part of me doing these videos is I am a projector and a 3-5 splenic projector with the 4323 as my conscious sun and conscious earth. And so a lot of what I do in order to learn and share is I need to speak things out in order to really fully make sense of them. And my third line needs to try things a lot in order to learn, which has been it's been hard to come to that acceptance of that through my life. And so right now, here I am sharing, I don't know if I fully get this gate, this gene key yet, but I'm going to share what I do feel I understand from it. So gate 22 in the human design body graph is in the emotional solar plexus, and it connects to the throat via gate 12. This is very individual gate, and it's knowing. In quantum human design, the name of it is the gate of surrender. In traditional language, it's grace, and in the I Ching, it's also grace, but in my I Ching book, it's also called adornment. So this transit is highlighting the ability to regulate our emotional energy by not stuffing, but by actually accepting where we are. So when we accept our emotions, they become more regulated. It's through stuffing or reacting where emotional energy can be quite erratic. And when we accept, we allow our emotions to flow freely with the intention that, when you go down and you're just having a really shitty day, there's something on the other side of that. But if we deny it or try and push through, it typically doesn't work, and that shitty day might last longer. So on the shadow side of this gate, there's the fear you're not supported, and there's a holding back energy because you feel you're not supported or you can't afford to pursue it. In that energy too, there's a compromisation that happens, a settling for what is out of fear, and it's allowing the unbalanced emotional expression to shut down your creative process. So I know for myself, if I'm in a really flooded emotional state or heightened emotional state, I don't have much creativity in me. If I'm exhausted and burnt out, I don't have much creativity in me. So this, that shadow side is really highlighting this, where are you compromising? Where are you settling? And where is your emotional energy taking you over? So the full expression of this gate is the ability to tap into grace by knowing you're fully supported no matter what everything looks like around you, and to trust that you're going to be given everything you need. Now, this word grace is an interesting one, and I'm actually going to do something really quick. I haven't done it on a video before while I'm filming, but I'm going to do it anyhow. When I contemplate these words, sometimes I go, okay, so what's the etymology of these words? Because these words are really important, and I know Richard Rudd spends a lot of time choosing these words, as does Karen Curry Parker. They're very much interested in the frequency of language. And so here on the etymology dictionary, grace has a root of to thank, to be in thanks, to give thanks. And so it also says here, there's also this idea of to add grace to something, which has to do with a musical sense, that there's like a fluid movement. I go deeper now. This is what happens. This is also related to God's favor, love, or help, divine grace. You're in connection with divinity, right? You are fully connected. And so you are, it's not even that you're given grace, but you are tapped into knowing that you are a part of divinity. You are one piece of divinity. And so simply because you are a divine being, grace is your birthright, to know that you're fully supported. So the gene key, thanks for going along on that etymological hunt there with me. So the gene key name is Grace Under Pressure. And this gene key talks about really invocating divinity into your existence. So seeing the divine in all. It is calling you to be willing to be open to the unknown, and for prayer, whatever that looks like, whether prayer looks like gratitude or prayer looks like asking questions upwards to the universe. It's also an invitation to seeing suffering not as this bleak thing that we get stuck in, but there's actually something on the other side of it. And there's this big connection to the Akashic records and how we, as a collective and an individual, how our memory is associated with suffering. And as I said at the beginning, this gene key has very deep teachings, and I'm only going to be sharing my very basic understanding of it. And I know that this is going to percolate, right? A lot of this information that comes from the I Ching, the gene keys, this is very ancient wisdom that needs time to make sense to our physicality. Like, I remember when I first discovered Richard Rudd and the Gene Keys, shortly after I discovered human design, I remember being fascinated by him, but I bought his book, the Big Gene Keys book, and I remember just being so overwhelmed with all the information. Now, 5 years later, it's like it all makes sense to me. Well, not all of it, obviously, but it makes sense to me in a whole different way. And so we need to give ourselves time to sometimes really start to feel the energy out of these archetypes, because it's not just mental in your head. So the shadow of this gene key is dishonor. And it's the same idea of what I said about the human design perspective of it. It's like our emotions are overly controlled, or they are like we completely control them, or they run amok everywhere and are completely out of control. And when that happens, we're reactive to our emotions, or we lock our emotions down. We're dishonoring our experience. And this is so, so, so important, because this is what I notice the most about my clients is they say, oh, I shouldn't feel this way. I shouldn't feel this way. This is not how I should feel. Other people don't feel this way. And it breaks my heart when I hear that, because who says you shouldn't feel that way? Who says you should lock those feelings down? Right? Who says you should judge those feelings? They're emotions that are here to be expressed, and they're incredibly important. I mean, our planet is like, we came here in these bodies to experience emotions. So what can happen is this can be presented, you can see this playing out in the world as very calm. Someone might be very calm on the outside, but on the inside, they're seething, right? And I remember experiencing this when I was a teenager, I was on antidepressant medication. I remember having a friend of mine say, "Oh, well, you look happier." But I remember on the inside, I felt so stuck and trapped and sad and angry. And so this is what happens for a lot of people. They go, "I can't feel this. I shouldn't be feeling this way." And they stuff it right down, and then they act all calm on the outside. Or on the opposite end of the spectrums, emotions just take over. I often use this term, they get flooded by their emotions, where it's kind of like the emotions just take over and nothing else exists. And this can result in being very disruptive to their relationships, to their ability to work. And so remember, there's no emotions that are bad, right? No emotions are bad. Emotions just have a different vibrational rate. And we want to make sure that that vibrational frequency has the chance to get out of our body in a supportive way so that we can come back to baseline. So to move into the gift of graciousness, we need to courageously turn towards our emotions and allow them to be expressed in a healthy manner. And often what that means is to allow yourself to express your emotions in connection with a safe person. So much of our pain that we experience, and I would say all of our trauma, happens in relationship or the breaking of relationship. Even if it's a car accident, there's either you or someone else in the car or something, right, that has relation. We're such relational beings. We need to be in relationship. So if you have a safe person in your life that you can express your emotions towards, who's not going to judge you, that's a really, really big gift. And then what happens when we do that, right, is we can tap into genuine kindness for ourselves and for other people. So the gift of graciousness is fully living life, knowing that the ups and downs, highs and lows, are part of the journey, but there's no judgment, but just a deep understanding of how crazy our life journey can be. I have a dear friend who I think really, she doesn't have this active in her chart, but she is the epitome of grace to me. I used to teach with her. And even when she was feeling really big feelings, she is an emotional generator, but even when she was feeling really, really big feelings, she allowed herself to feel them, knowing that there was also something else happening. Even if she was really upset at someone, she has this innate ability to allow herself to be upset and at the same time holding that there's another truth in her upset. So she doesn't attach to her emotions. She actually rides them quite beautifully, knowing there's something else. And so to be able to do that, you need to be able to turn towards your core wounds. You need to be able to check in on the wounds. And Richard Rudd lists the six core wounds of humanity as repression. So we push things down, we repress our expression. Denial, we deny our experience, we deny the experience of other people. Shame, we feel our own shame about something we may have done or experienced, or we shame other people for being who they are. Rejection, we reject other people's hearts, beliefs, thoughts, and we reject ourselves by going, I'm not good enough. Nope, this could never in any way possibly happen to me. And then guilt, where we feel guilty about what we've done, or we project guilt on other people. They should feel guilty about what they did. That wasn't okay. And then separation, and this to me is such a big one, right? We are beings that are designed to be connected and in relationship. And when we create separation from ourselves, our hearts, our souls, separation from other humans, and separation from the planets, this is from the planet, or planets. This is a huge wound, right? We've been separated and abandoned in so many ways. So it's about turning inward and loving ourselves and then others in all of these wounds and through them. So I'm going to invite you to use this energy over this transit to ask yourself, where can I extend kindness to myself? Where can I be kind to myself, where I would normally shame or beat myself up or deny myself? And ask yourself, are there any emotions or fears or limiting beliefs that are holding me back? Where am I choosing to believe a story that might not be true? So I hope that helped. If you liked the video, please like, share, or subscribe. And thank you very, very much for watching.